The University of Cape Town's academic staff are set to embark on a strike action for the first time in history. This follows a 3% wage increase offer, which the union has dismissed. For more on this now, we're joined now via Zoom by Professor Kelley Moult from the UCT's Academics Union, and she joins us virtually from Cape Town. Professor Moult, thank you so much for your time this evening. A strike action by the academic staff for the first time in history. This could not have been an easy decision or an easy point for your union to get to.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marcel. Many of us have been involved in the union for a long time. Never thought we would see this day ever arrive. Academics give our lives to the university. We care very deeply about our students, but our relationship with management at present has left us with no choice. We were given the 3% offer in December. Our members voted 99% to reject the offer that we communicated on the 1st of December. Since then, management has repeatedly promised to come back with a revised offer. To date, that has not happened. We met exhaustively for 2 weeks to try and make that happen during December. We met them at the CCMA on the 9th of January, where they promised to have an offer for the following day. That day lapsed, as did the next two. We met them again on the Thursday at the CCMA, and there was still no movement. So at present, our members voted voted for a strike. 84% of members voted in favor of a strike, and for us, that's the only step that remains to try and move this dispute.
Now, let's talk figures. Let's talk money. A 3% offer on the table. Two things to take into consideration there. A statement from your union pointing to the fact that other institutions that you normally compare yourselves to have been offering 6%. And then, of course, the other point, which, all South Africans would continuously point to, is the rate of our inflation. And 3% doesn't even come close. Talk to us about the figures and how the members of your union are feeling about the offer that's been put on the table.
Thank you. Yeah, pay at UCT for academics is governed by a pay policy which we have agreed with management, and our pay policy sets a group of comparator institutions and sets our pay at the 75th percentile of that group of comparators. Our comparator institutions have increased their academic staff salaries by at least 6% for this year. Inflation is sitting, as you mentioned, at 6.9%. So for us to agree to a 3% pay increase will leave our academics tangibly worse off. In other words, working for less money. This is also not the first year that this has or will happen. Over the last 3 years, academics have in fact taken what ends up being below inflationary increases as a way to assist with the financial difficulties that the university faces. Leaving us worse off also significantly undermines the transformation of our academic staff. And that is because with a 3% offer so far off of our competitors, it makes us it makes it difficult for us to hire good new staff to UCT, to retain the staff that we have, and particularly to retain the excellent black staff that we have. So really, it is an offer that on all counts just simply doesn't meet the requirements.
The talk of the strike also comes during what is known normally as probably the busiest, outside of exams later on in the year, the busiest time at an academic institution of your kind, especially now where we're set in the situation where matric results came out quite late. So it's late applications, it's remarking that's happening, it's the last acceptance letters that are being sent in. The university, in terms of its infrastructure and getting the year off on the right start, really cannot afford for a downing of tools at this time, can they?
Absolutely not. Our position with management has always been that our wage negotiations need to be concluded earlier in the year. Management only started negotiating with us on the 30th of November, which inevitably pushes the dispute to where it is right now. You're absolutely right. A strike by academics at UCT will disrupt the marking of the supplementary and deferred examinations, which means that essentially 2022's academic year won't be completed on time. It also, as you rightly point out, will be right at the time of registration of student advice and the start of the teaching year, which is, you know, just a few weeks away. So absolutely, you know, we believe that we have done absolutely everything possible to avoid coming to this point. Management have left us no choice, and we are therefore seeking to exercise our right to engage in industrial action.
I believe the Academics Union is the solely recognized union representing UCT academics at the university. Can you talk to me about the work that the union does, firstly? And secondly, you mentioned earlier on that your relationship with management right now is not great. Obviously, given the current discussion point on the table, that wouldn't be the case. But how has the relationship with management been over the last couple of years? Because we do know our education institutions really have been under a lot of pressure over the last while, and there have always been reports about issues around politics, inside politics, as it were, at UCT over the last while as well. Where is that relationship to start with, even before you start talking about the issues with salary increases?
Yeah, thank you. So, I mean, this is what is so startling about where we are, is that traditionally our relationship with management has been very collegial. You know, I've been involved in negotiations for many, many years at UCT, and they, for the most part, have taken place over a week, maybe two, sitting around the table as colleagues, even though we are, you know, a union on one side and management on the other. And that is because, in general, our relationship with management is very collegial. We are all the kind of lifers in the institution. We believe very strongly in the longevity of the institution. We defend it. Many of us work our entire careers there. And so in terms of the way that the academics generally think about our role in ensuring the sustainability and the success of the academic project, I think we take that very seriously. We certainly acknowledge that the university is in a difficult position, but our fundamental disagreement is with the strategic decision-making that has taken place over the last years in balancing the books and making sure that the university stays afloat. So for us, it's unconscionable to spend in some areas and to expect the academic staff and really the staff more widely at UCT to carry the costs of that by leaving us poorer off. You know, we hope that this relationship can be mended. As I said before, we care very deeply about the institution, and so certainly we haven't taken this decision lightly. The Academics Union is the only union representing academic staff at UCT. We represent somewhere on 700 academic staff. And when almost 500 of them vote to strike, that gives you a sense of just how problematic a moment we find ourselves in.
Okay, just quickly, what's next? You are, News 24 reporting that you are expected to get a certificate for that strike to go ahead this coming Friday. Has anything happened since that's been reported? And what are you expecting any communication from UCT management before that point?
So we signed our strike rules, which are agreed, and we lodged them with the CCMA on Friday afternoon. The next thing that should happen in that process would be the issuance of the strike certificate. The CCMA has asked us to attend one more conciliation with management on Monday or Tuesday. We have requested that happens as soon as possible on Monday. We are also aware that the university has a remuneration committee meeting scheduled for early Monday morning. We have been told that a revised offer will ensue, and we hope that does happen. Unfortunately, though, our demand, our comparator institutions' increase point and management's offer is really a very big distance away from one another. And so although we hope that a revised offer will be something that we can take to our members and get agreement on. It's really unclear to us whether that is possible. So at present, we will hope to receive the certificate on Monday and to move forward with planning this. We will then give the university the requisite 48 hours notice and move forward with the strike.
Okay, thank you so much for that update, Professor Kelley Moult from the UCT's Academics Union.